Are you convinced, Victor, that the Japanese are in fact militarizing to a dangerous or threatening level?
Let me really go to the jugular of this issue. China, being a victor nation, has the absolute full right to strike at Japan to prevent the rise of Japanese militarism or neo-Japanese fascism, period. China's right to use unilateral military might against Japan to prevent Japan from constituting another military threat against China, especially if Japan dares to arm itself with nuclear weapons. I've declared on many occasions, the moment Japan possesses nuclear weapon will be the moment of the annihilation of Japan as a state.
Victor, those are really strong words. I just want to make sure I heard you clearly, because I think what you just said will likely make news. You're saying China has the preemptive right to strike Japan, and not only has the right to do so, but will do so if it feels that Japan is over-militarizing. Is that what you say?
Absolutely. That's authorized in the United Nations Charter regarding the enemy state clause. It is specifically stipulated that the enemy state, which includes Japan, if they dare to rearm itself to constitute a military threat against a victor nation, which includes China, then the victor nation has the right to use preemptive military might to prevent that remilitarization or neo-Japanese fascism from raising its dangerous head. It's carved in stone. It's part of the international order that we are living through. So no one in the world should pretend that they are ignorant of this enemy state clause contained very secretly in the United Nations Charter.
Just one final question so people can understand what you're saying. Is the threshold for a preemptive strike the determination that Japan has some kind of nuclear weaponry capability or something shy of that?
Well, as I mentioned, the moment Japan possesses the nuclear weapon will be the moment of the annihilation of Japan as a state, period. Now, before then, if Japan try to arm itself with other weapons of mass destruction and to constitute a military threat or to threaten to use war against China, these all may be considered as sufficient for triggering the enemy state clause in the United Nations Charter.
Pascal, what do you make of that, and what do you think the Prime Minister will do?
I think I must just disagree with the language before. We must understand, like, there's a big difference between fascist militarism on the one hand and a security dilemma on the other hand. And language that just was used will only lead to one thing, which is that the Japanese will feel more threatened. As I said in the beginning, we must not forget the 35 million, as you correctly said, dead during the Second World War. But if anyone currently says Japan will be annihilated with nuclear weapons, all this will do is push Japan to think about how to arm itself more. So what is needed at the moment is really words of reassurance and understanding in order not to land in a security dilemma. So there are moments when countries go full-blown fascist and just want to conquer. There are moments when countries land in mutual fear of each other. And Japan is not just afraid of China, Japan is also very much afraid of the nukes of North Korea. Japan so far does not seek nuclear weapons, it seeks the ability to deter those. That in and of itself is not so much of a wise thing to do, because deterrence leaves out the ability to have friends, right? Friendship is the best defense against any form of attacks. So what we need to avoid at this point is really where both sides perceive each other as a mortal enemy, and words of will be destroyed, will be annihilated, and so on do not help in de-escalating a situation.
So what I hear you saying is that you think Victor should be less threatening, that he may have a point, but he shouldn't use such bombastic language.